Hi, I am Cami Stoddard and I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been with Beautycounter for 8 years. And
I'm Kristin Flewelling, and I live in Granbury, Texas, and I've been with Beautycounter for 6.5 years.
Kristin and we were just having a conversation today about why it is a complete and total no-brainer to pay $50 and start a business with our amazing company, Beautycounter. You know, here are some simple facts of where we are in the world right now. We are headed towards a recession. And every single time I go to the grocery store or the gas station, I notice that the cost of goods has risen exponentially. And I'm sure you're seeing the exact same thing. Sadly, conversations I'm having with friends recently always seem to come back to the rising cost of just living life and the need for more money. So we were just sitting here talking about why a business with Beautycounter is simply a genius idea. Just think about it. What are the options that you have to bring in extra income for your family? You could join the workforce again and apply for a traditional 9-to-5 job where you would make a consistent salary, but likely you would have to go into the office every single day with little flexibility to your schedule. Or you could start your own business. Kristin, didn't your sister open a yoga studio a few years ago?
Yes, she did. And I love my sister, but opening a brick and mortar yoga studio, it was always her dream. And even after tons of research and all the things, it ended up being way more expensive and way more difficult than she and her husband had ever imagined. I mean, after 4 years, I think they barely broke even. I don't know. We don't really talk about it. It's a bit of a sore subject, but if she were sitting here right next to me, she would say, I would never do it again. Never. And similarly, I had lunch with a friend recently who got started in real estate. And I think that we can all agree that real estate has looked very intriguing the last few years. And in her mind, it was all the good stuff, right? All the good stuff we're reading, but she hadn't really taken into consideration the cost of her training, the cost of setting up her own space, doing her own marketing, the cost of babysitters whenever somebody would just text and want to go, look at a listing. And, don't get me wrong, starting any business takes time and energy and investment, but with Beautycounter, it's really turnkey, and the support you need to get going is there for you, which is the click of a button.
Geez, wow. I mean, truly, so many blood, sweat, and tears and funds required. But I am truly telling you, this is why starting a business with Beautycounter is so appealing for anybody who needs extra money. It is $50 to start this business, and that is it. No strings attached, no storefront, no inventory, no loans, no desk from 9 to 5. You can seriously work wherever there is Wi-Fi and from your phone. Before I decided to become a consultant with Beautycounter, I thought the worst things. For instance, if I used the consultant discount, but I ultimately didn't sell anything after becoming a consultant, would I have to pay the company back for using their discount? Would I owe them my firstborn child if I decided that I just didn't want to become a Beautycounter consultant? I mean, honestly, these things and some crazy other things were going through my mind, but I want to reiterate to you that there is no downside, no strings attached to joining as a Beautycounter consultant. And the icing on the cake is that you can make unlimited income. I don't know if you can wrap your head around that, and obviously this varies depending on how much time and effort and energy you put into your business. But that could range from an extra few $100s a month to an extra few $1,000s a month or tens of thousands of dollars a month. I'm not even kidding, but you have nothing to lose. And also, can we just talk about things that cost $50? I really want to put this into perspective. I went to Restoration Hardware Cafe the other day, and my salad was $45. My salad. Now, you can start a business with Beautycounter for $50 or eat an RH Cafe salad. People truly just overanalyze the living daylights out of this spend, but they'll throw it back on a lunch without another thought. It's just insane. Sorry, go ahead, Kristin.
No, I'm thinking about the $50 things in my head right now. Like it's ridiculous. Taking my daughter and 2 of her friends to Starbucks might cost me $50.
Right. It's so true. It's absolutely true. I know. And honestly, too, to make that $50 back is so easy. You can sell $150 in product with Beautycounter and you'll make back your $50. That's it.
That's a really great way to put it into perspective, Cami, for real. And another thing, you know, as moms that I want to talk about is time, right? Like as a mom, where does the time go? They say, you know, the days are long, the years are short. And as the mom of a 12 and 9.5-year-old, I can say that's totally 100% true. And there's a time barrier when you go back into traditional business or go back to school, you're officially on someone else's time frame. And I did it. I mean, I did it for years in the business world. And, you know, you're watching the clock, they're watching the clock, you're asking for time off, you're shuffling all the plates if something comes up or a child is sick. And it's rough. I mean, I started my business when my youngest was 3, and people may have thought I was crazy, but she was there with me the whole time. You know, did I have to set aside time to work and to do my trainings and my outreaches? Absolutely. But give me a business where you don't have to set aside some time, right? And make some time to be successful. But the best part about it was that Nora was there the whole time, right? I mean, 6 years later, there's simply not a job out there. There's just not, that would pay me the income that I make today, still being able to do all of the things that I do today. You know, being the mom that I want to be, being the wife I want to be, being the friend I want to be, not to mention myself. So, you know, just the income that it can bring in is just unheard of versus going back into the traditional workforce, in my opinion.
It's so true. You know, it took me like a minute to decide that I was going to, I mean, like 9 months to be exact, to decide that I was going to become a consultant with Beautycounter, because I personally had this really weird chip on my shoulder where I felt that it was beneath me to join the direct sales industry. And I'm sure many of you listening to us are going to think the exact same thing, that it's beneath you. But after I stepped back and really looked at the reality of my own personal situation, I realized how perfect this business was for me, from the low startup cost to a mission that I wholeheartedly believe in, to a rock solid community of some of the smartest women and a few men that I know, to the ability to make my own hours. I really just realized that I would be insane to not give it a try. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Beautycounter is in alignment with my values and my life. And I knew I could personally make a ton of money if I devoted time and energy to building my own business. And I just did it.
Yeah. And, you know, back to what you were saying about, you know, your values and things that align with you. I mean, I was fortunate enough in April to go to Washington, DC, on our Beautycounter advocacy trip, which they take every 2 years, where they send consultants to DC to actually advocate for legislation changes. And having my girls watch me earn that trip and then go on that trip was something I was so proud of. You know, I can say that I'm a working woman, but that also I do something that makes me feel really good when my head hits the pillow at night, and that my girls are watching me build right by my side. And it's really, really rewarding. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. Cami and I are not sitting here telling you you're going to make tons of money and it's so easy. I mean, if someone told you you're going to make tons of money and it's so easy, I would probably turn tail and run the other direction. Success takes work, bottom line. But versus a traditional business, the success is 100% up to you on your time schedule. And the possibilities are just endless.
Totally. And here, we're just going to close it and say that if this resonates with you, and if you are looking for additional streams of income for whatever that may be, keeping up with inflation, sending your kids to camp, school tuition, groceries, putting braces on a child, I want you to really reach back out to the person who sent you this call and have a conversation with them. Because the fact of the matter is a $50 investment by starting your own business with Beautycounter can truly unlock a turnkey business with work and dedication that can pay off in absolute spades. And if you're curious to see how much people are truly making with Beautycounter, I want to send you to the website www.beautycounter.com/IDS. IDS stands for Income Disclosure Statement. And check it out, and you'll see what I mean. It is totally worth it. And that's it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for dialing in. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.